Is it better to buy a new construction home or a resale, a home that's already built? This is a question that my customers often ask, and it's a difficult question to answer because there are so many nuances. Often it's really more a matter of your needs. Over the years, I've encouraged some of my customers to go the route of new construction, and then there have been others that I've discouraged to do so. Today, I'll be addressing a mess of pros and then even more cons to consider when purchasing new construction. Over time, I've tended to be someone that was generally opposed to new construction, but I've come to recognize some of the benefits of purchasing this new construction home. You'll see today that I'm pretty much 50-50, so let's get to work and look at some of these pros and cons to see which is better for you. These pros and cons aren't listed in any particular order, so be sure to stick around and catch all of these because I'm betting there are at least a couple of them that you may not have even considered, especially the last one. Let's start with the pros of buying a new construction home. The first, and what I believe is the most obvious pro, is that you don't get someone else's leftovers. There shouldn't be any scuff marks on the walls or stains on the carpet. There shouldn't be any plumbing leaks that are hiding behind the walls, so there's comfort there. If there are any issues, new construction homes usually come with a warranty. You'll typically get up to a year to point out any flaws that you find at all, and then the builder will usually just come in and fix them. Plus, you're usually getting a workmanship warranty, which is it's usually a year, and they often get a 2-year systems warranty and a 10-year warranty on the structure of the home. Because these homes are brand new, you won't have that black cloud of remodeling that you need to get around to. Your home is done. You're good to go for years to come. Yes, some resale homes are in tip-top shape too, but I've seen it many times that my buyers ended up doing some sort of remodeling that they hadn't anticipated until well after they closed on their home. Speaking of remodeling and resales, another pro of new construction is that you can be assured that your home is built to code and that you'll have the latest and greatest safety codes. That's a big deal for some of my customers moving down from up north with concerns about the heat and the hurricanes here in Florida. When my son was looking to buy a home a few years back, Kyla and I encouraged him to buy new construction simply because he wouldn't have the expense or the hassle of maintenance. Now, he's less handy than me, and that's pretty scary, so the new construction idea has worked out just fine for him. Before I get to the issue of cost of these new construction homes, if you'd like help with the purchase of a home anywhere here in Central Florida, either pick up the phone or just leave a comment in the comment section below. If this is the type of information that you're looking for, then hit that like and hit the subscribe buttons and click that little notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I post other videos just like this. New construction homes are usually more energy efficient. They've usually got dual pane windows, radiant barriers, and more energy efficient systems, which end up leading to lower energy bills over the years. And it isn't like it's $2 or $3 a month either. It could be $100 or $200 for even a moderately priced new construction home that you can put towards your mortgage payment. Another pro of new construction homes is that you get the upgrades that you want, not what that wacky guy that had it built wanted, back in 1981. If you want a 4-pocket sliding door, if you want ceiling fans or closet shelving and you're willing to pay for it, well, you can have it. The builders these days have more upgrade options than you can imagine. It's important to remember that you'll need to start the process early on, as builders usually won't change a home's features once they've been installed. Some new construction communities have multiple builders, which provides many options, and some builders have more options than others. Smaller builders are often more flexible and can do pretty much anything you want, but some of the big boys will do that these days too. Because everything in a new construction home is new and everything should be up to the latest codes, the cost of insurance for these homes usually is less than that of a resale. This concept really should not be understated, especially the way insurance costs have skyrocketed here in Florida the last few years. My son, that I spoke of earlier, pays like $660 a year for his insurance, whereas a similarly priced older home would cost about, maybe over $3,500 for the year. Another huge pro of new construction is that because of the time it takes to build a home, you can lock in appreciation and have built-in equity as soon as you close. Of course, I suppose that could work against you in a declining market, but if it was that bad, you might just walk away and leave that escrow behind. Escrow for new construction often is less than that of a resale home. Many people that consider the purchase of new construction already own a home, and so they're already aware of the stress that can be associated with selling a home and buying a home at the same time. With new construction, there's usually plenty of time to plan out the process, and we often work backwards from the anticipated closing date before we list their current home. I've had sellers that were shocked when their home sold in a matter of days and then they were freaking out. But when your home won't be ready for months or maybe 12 months, There's often peace of mind that's associated with new construction on this subject. So far, we've talked about all the good stuff to consider when buying a new construction home, and so far you might think that I'm trying to sell you on how good it is. But hang in there. You'll soon see that it's not all unicorns and daisies here. The first, and what I consider to be the most common con when building new construction, is the headache. When I'm working with buyers of resale homes, I mention the stress it can cause, but it's a whole different ballgame when I speak of new construction. I've had customers complain of broken promises and unsatisfactory work by the builders, and I've seen homes that were promised to be completed in 6 months end up taking like 15 months to be completed. I've seen builders raise the price on buyers after they were under contract, creating all sorts of problems. If you're buying a new construction home, be sure you look over that contract thoroughly. It'll probably take a good bit of time to get through, and you may need an attorney to help you understand it all, but it's time well spent. I'm sorry if I sound like, Debbie Downer here, but if you're considering the purchase of new construction, you need to be aware that these things have happened. It doesn't mean they're going to happen to you, but it is a possibility. When you purchase a resale, you typically know exactly when you're closing. Yes, I know that things happen there too every day, but most of the time the delay is often within just a couple days. But with new construction, I've had customers with delays of over 6 months. Think this delay is just a matter of your inconvenience? Well, I don't think so. Interest rates can vary widely during that time and can have a huge impact on your mortgage payment. These days, some builders aren't even taking offers on homes until way later in the process, maybe when framing or even later. This helps them more accurately determine a closing date and cover for increases in supply costs like wood, windows, and all that, which then they pass along to the buyer. The next con is the cost. New construction homes do tend to generally cost more than resales, so you're paying a premium for that brand new home. Speaking of the cost of the home, when you drive by a new community and it tells you the homes are starting in the, say, 350s, understand that that is without any upgrades or lot premiums. But I can almost guarantee that you're going to purchase at least some of those upgrades. These builders are often major corporations, and they've got professionals working to ensure that they extract the most from your wallet to improve their profit margins. Now, they're not evil or bad or anything like that. They're a business, just like the one that charges you $13 for a fast food chicken sandwich and fries that you so gleefully pay for. And these upgrades are nice. I've been with customers that are resolved that they aren't purchasing any of what they called glitz, but they still ended up spending over 20 grand for upgrades, and I'm no different, as the upgrades that they do with these homes are pretty stinking amazing. It's not uncommon for a regular Joe to drop an extra 50 to 80 grand on a new construction home, so don't think that you won't do it either. Another con of new construction homes is that a huge majority of them include homeowners associations. Yes, you can have a home built on a private lot, and I've helped many customers with those over the years, but the buyer typically has to purchase the land and then still have the financial wherewithal to afford the home. Of course, you could always do a construction to perm loan or some other option, but that's a whole nother topic. An upside to the homeowners association is that if you get into that community early and you're an eager beaver, you can potentially have a greater say of what happens in your community on that HOA board. Speaking of getting into a new construction community early in the process, failing to do so can also get you a higher price tag on your home because these builders typically tend to raise prices as they build out a community. I'm not sure exactly why this is. Maybe it's because the early owners have to project what the community will be, whereas the later owners are able to see what the community is. Plus, the early owners have a longer period without any amenities like swimming pools or pickleball courts having been built. So keep this in mind when you're looking at these advertisements outside the community that I spoke of earlier. The next con is what I personally believe to be the greatest con of all, and it's the one that I also think that nobody considers, and that is the charm. Charm cannot be quantified, and I don't even know if it can be clarified, but what I do know is that most new construction homes really lack charm. Most new construction communities are cookie cutter types. Some of them, like Margaritaville, have charm as a whole, and that's a great community, but I don't even see much charm in there. You can buy some charm, like one model that I was recently in up at the Reserve at Victoria, but it still doesn't compete with an older home with that beautiful 200-year-old live oak in the front yard. My wife and I occasionally find ourselves just riding around in some older neighborhoods just gawking at some of these beautiful older homes, sometimes built back in the 50s or 60s. Yes, the smaller homes have many rooms that aren't really for everyone, but neither is the open concept that is seemingly in every new construction home these days. Now, I don't mean to hate, but I do love some charm in a home. Here are a couple other videos that might help you when considering the purchase of a new construction home. Are there other pros or cons that I haven't considered here? Please take a quick second and put them down in the comment section below. And don't forget to like and subscribe this video if you haven't done so already. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.